Welcome back, everyone, to 12 Days of Killershrewfan's Killer Toy Reviews. Today's review is of the Safari Limited Yutyrannus figure. This video was requested by Brian Delgado. Thank you so much for that request. We really appreciate it, and we also greatly appreciate your patience while we made this video. Thanks for waiting. We're going to give you the review you asked for right here and right now on Killershrewfan's Killer Toy Reviews. But just first impressions of this model is really, this is Safari Limited at their best. This is an absolutely stunning, gorgeous, and accurate figure, and we're going to give you a closer look at it right here and right now. As always, we'll go ahead and start off with the head there, and just look at that. Look at how gorgeous that is. All of the individually sculpted scales covering the entire head, the individually sculpted teeth poking out over the lower jaw, the lovely red splash of color at the crest area there. Just wow. Just oh my gosh. And they've sort of based it out in this brown, and then they have sort of dry brushed a lighter brown over all of it to really make those details pop. And then you've got that striking, gorgeous blue eye. If my camera will focus, I know you can do it. Come on, baby. Show the people the eye. Oh, it's just incredible how striking that is. It looks like a living creature. This is Safari Limited. It is a quintessential piece to your collection. I know I'm just really getting the final thoughts already, but that's just how amazing this figure is. It's definitely probably in my top 10 for Safari Limited figures. Then going down to the feathered area here, this is probably my favorite part, the transition here and how it comes into this sort of ruffle with the white feathers and the black tips. It's almost like they look like quills or something. It reminds me of a porcupine. It's just gorgeous stuff. Going down the body, as you can see, the hair-like feathers cover nearly the entire creature. You've got the hands there with some black claws, not textured, sort of the big flaw of Safari Limited. They never texture their claws or give them any sort of weathering. They usually just paint them a flat black color. But as you can see, they are properly sculpted, permanently facing inward. Going down the entire body, the hair-like feathers continue, and sculpting hair is one of the hardest things you can do, but Safari Limited did it to a T here. It really is gorgeous stuff. We come to another unfeathered area, which is the feet here, with some lovely plate scales. I know it's choosing to focus on the back one. Hopefully, maybe if I do this, it will focus on the front. There it is. You can see all of the lovely plate scales, and they've done the same thing they did with the head, where they spaced it out in brown and gave it a sort of tan wash to really make the colors pop. Going down the rest of the body all the way to the tip of the tail, the hair does continue. On the underside, it's kind of tricky to make out, but you can see all of the pertinence. Yutyrannus 2015 figure, I think, something like that. I'm not sure when this came out. It was before I started collecting. But yes, that is really all there is to the sculpture of this model, but it is just gorgeous stuff. It really is. As you can see, it is done with the brown. It looks like they based the whole thing out in brown, which is smart. The skin underneath would retain that sort of brown coloration. And then you've got the white feathers, the hair-like feathers there. And then they've got this sort of very almost cotton candy blue that's very subtly applied. You can just make it out, sort of floating on top of the white feathers there, just to sort of give it an additional color, with the brown sort of peeking out of the bottom there. But yes, this is just gorgeous stuff. You know, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of, you know, fully feathered dinosaur. I mean, I guess it depends on the species, and it also depends greatly on how you do it. But this is how it's meant to be done. This is incredible. This is insane. This is awesome. All I have to say about the look of this figure. One more quick note before I go into the size of this figure. It is not a tripod. That's another great feature of this dinosaur toy. You can stand it on your shelf, and I have never ever once had issues with mine falling down and I've had it for a few months now. This figure will stand on 2 feet with its tail straight back behind it, not touching the ground. It doesn't rely on its hand claws, and it looks as if it's striding forward, and no balancing issues. This figure is Safari Limited at their very best. I think they really peaked with this one. But let's give you guys a size, shall we? Let's bring in our flimsy, shattered ruler here and take a look. So from the back of the tail all the way to the front, you're looking at right around 8.5 inches, somewhere in that zone. And from the base all the way to the highest point, which is going to be the neck, you're looking at 2.25 inches off the ground. So kind of a smaller figure, but it's not tiny by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, you can see it's longer than my hand there, and it feels really great in the hand. It feels like a good-sized figure. This really is. I have no complaints with this figure whatsoever. Let's do some size comparisons for you guys. Now, we don't really have any other Yutyrannus figures. This is our first, so instead we're going to bring in some of Safari Limited's other feathered beauties. Now, we have the Coelophysis here, not my favorite figure, but you can kind of see how these two size up next to each other. Kind of cool to see the different style of them next to each other. And if you recall my video, I didn't much care for the Coelophysis. This Yutyrannus is why. This is how you should make a feathered dinosaur. This Coelophysis is just nowhere near that level, and it's disappointing, but hey, I can always go back to my Yutyrannus. Next, we're going to bring in the feathered Velociraptor. A little side note here, all of these have been reviewed. Link will be down in the description below, so if you want to see those videos, be sure to check them out. Another glorious figure from Safari Limited, beautifully sculpted, but I would say the Yutyrannus beats it out. And again, no bananas, but instead we're going to bring in another feathered dinosaur from Safari Limited. It's the Tyrannosaurus Rex. And you know, I kind of thought this was an appropriate comparison here, because the Yutyrannus is actually a cousin of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's a Chinese cousin of T-Rex, and it is because of Yutyrannus that we are led to believe that T-Rex was also feathered in some way. So Yutyrannus, you're the reason we've got T-Rex covered with feathers. I hate you. I mean, I don't. I have no issue with feathered T-Rex, but you know, I just had to say that, you know, just for fun. But hopefully, I hope that helps you guys sort of get an idea. Oh, there he goes. On how these figures would size up next to each other. Alright folks, that is gonna do it for Killershrewfan's look at the Safari Limited Yutyrannus figure. Like I said, this really is Safari at their very best. This figure is absolutely gorgeous. It's beautifully sculpted, got an awesome paint job. This figure is just everything you would possibly want in a dinosaur figure. I think it is deserving of a 9.5 out of 10. It's a beautiful figure, a great addition to your collection. If you don't have it already, what are you doing with yourself? Go pick it up. Go order from Safari. Go order this. Go order a bunch of other figures. Just go get this figure. Really, that's all I can say about it. It is beautiful in every sense of the word. She is beauty, she is grace, she will probably eat your face. But I want to know what you all think of this Yutyrannus figure. Do you love it as much as I do? Do you not like it? Are you a fan of the feathered dinosaurs? I want to hear all of your thoughts down in the comments below. Don't be afraid to keep requesting videos. We have a lot piled up, but we'll be sure to get to your requests sooner or later. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you think I deserved it, don't be afraid to hit that like button and subscribe to Killershrewfan's Killer Toy Reviews so you don't miss any of our future videos. We will see you in the next review. Thank you so much, and goodbye.